going to get
there
a
was more
defenseman.
need to find someone to replace Gensel's goal production.
Yes.
I think they addressed that.
And that's been a problem, too. It's not
Right.
just defense, it's scoring as well. And we just talked about some of the issues in the power play. I happen to think that if they had gotten a defenseman, he would have been a 9th or 10th guy. Sorry, maybe not 9th or 10th, 8th or 9th guy, maybe going a little too deep. But he would have been
An older
a depth
guy,
player.
somebody there. Ron
Right.
Hainsey's name's been mentioned.
Okay, and if you want more Ron Hainsey's of the world, if you want more Ian Coles of the world, then they got to change the way that they play. Because they get defensemen who try to get the puck out of their own zone,
Right.
go through the neutral zone, either skate it themselves or with crisp passes out to the forwards, and they try to play defense by possessing the puck in the end of the opponent. That's how they play defense, not blocking
it's
shots.
speed, first pass, get out of the zone.
Heavy checks and jar the puck free and get it back.
Should be noted that Ian Cole is one of the top plus-minus guys in the game right now, and I still never understood why Mike Sullivan didn't like him as much as he should have, I thought.
No,
Because I think he offered a different dimension
Yes.
as defense, and they didn't seem to just have
I would have
a
preferred a
connection.
different route to get that deal done than have Cole go out the door
Right.
myself.
We go to Don in Pittsburgh. Don, thank you for calling the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. What's up?
Hey, Bob, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
Hey, the Penguins are going to lose their first round in the playoffs. The Pirates ain't going nowhere, and the Steelers are going to stink this year, too. Bye.
Well, thank you for making what was a beautiful day in Pittsburgh very cloud-filled.
Would you like to cheer things up by talking about the coronavirus?
Well, listen, if they lose in the
Does that
first
thing
round,
pour
first of all,
bleach? I hear you're
don't-
supposed to drink bleach, Bob. Is that true?
Just cocaine comes out. No, I mean,
Don't do that either.
Bottom line is, no, that's, again, going back to what Twitter was talking about today. How do you even know who they're going to play, Don? You don't know how this is going to fall out. They could very easily go in and turn the tide and win 3 of the 4 coming up, or 4 of the 4. Who knows? These are all 4-point games. This could change rapidly. You could see by the end of the week they could move up close to the first and distance themselves from being out of the playoffs completely. Or this continues, and then they may not even be in that position to lose in the first round. This is how it is. Right now, Tim, the Caps go up 1 point. They lost another, a shootout to Buffalo. But, the teams behind them, like the Blue Jackets, they play them this week. If you win, you separate. If you don't, you ask for more problems. The Hurricanes, you saw what they could offer yesterday, and the Islanders are due to start playing
they're
well.
closer to being out of it than they are to first.
Right.
So, Mr. Happy Pants there, I'm not exactly disagreeing with his premise that the Penguins are in big trouble.
He's right about the Pirates, though.
He is definitely right about the Pirates.
I don't think there's any denying
You're getting 2 guys thrown out at home plate at the same time. I don't think that bodes very well.
I brought this point up today, and I want to get your take about how the Pirates can be this team, which is last place, and yet they have hardly any roster battles going on at all. It's all
because they don't
predetermined.
Because they don't add.
They
don't
the
create
point.
roster
I've been
battles.
saying, they talk about, okay, we don't want to waste money. Whose money are you wasting?
Well, the Steelers, like to other Mr. Happy Pants' point, the Steelers are going to have a lot of the same situation because they're not going to be able to add much either. They don't have any draft picks and very few draft picks, and they're not going to
add a franchise tag to Dupree, which they have to do, I think. At this
No, but I'm talking about adding competition.
Well, they're not.
They're not.
No.
So you're going to see the same
But it's a
effect on
different
an 8-8
situation.
football team.
One is spending to the cap, the other's not spending at all. This is
right. In terms of trying to win, but
right.
if I'm talking strictly about your premise that the team is not going to get better.
No, I said last place team.
For the last place team, they're not going to get better, and it does stink. And the reason why is because they're not interested. There should at least be competition.
Absolutely.
On the starting rotation.
Why shouldn't Brian Hayes be given a roster spot if he earns one? And everyone tells me, well, he hasn't hit in the minors. Brian Reynolds got an opportunity out of an emergency recall when 3 guys got hurt. Remember when Gonzalez smacks into Marte and they both get injured? And who else? There was someone else who went down with an injury. Anyway, so Brian Reynolds comes in. No one expected him to be in. And what did he do? He took advantage of the situation. All I'm saying is if Brian Hayes is what you think he is, he should make this roster spot. But it's predetermined it's going to be Colin Moran. That's all. Period.
Well, yeah, but,
I look at Colin Moran as a bench player.
Okay.
In my world.
Yes, in a world different than when the Pirates actually live in, you're probably right. Now, bringing up Brian Hayes, does that make them better, though, this year?
I want to see. I don't know. If you're not going to go out and spend, then what are you going to do?
I mean, but
you're going to bring out the same rotation, the same players positionally, minus your best offensive producer in Marte. I understand this year is not going to be their year. That doesn't mean you should just ignore this year, as they seem to want to do.
I'm with you on that, but I think maybe we're looking at the wrong spots to be upset about for where the competition should come. Because, in their world, to use your phrase, Colin Moran being their third baseman is not the worst thing ever. Where there should be competition is center field, right field because of Polanco's situation, catcher, the rotation.
And there's nothing there.
And the bullpen.
Right.
Like, you know, if they have been in a worse situation at third base before than the year that Colin Moran is coming off of.
I understand.
They've been in a worse situation at second base, at first base, at shortstop.
But what
and
I'm
left
saying
field.
is, well, I'll get to it after we're done with this segment here, but what I'm saying is anytime they have someone who's close to being, they seem to defer to, I'll just keep them in the minors. You got to keep them there for so much time.
Well, there was some talk that O'Neal Cruz is going to go up to AAA. And then, well, I guess it's his fault that those two guys got thrown out at home plate, so they had to put him at AA instead.
It's time right now for our Tri-State Furniture Tweet of the Day, and this comes to us from Donnybrook PGH. Check it out at Donnybrook PGH. Join us for the Ireland Institute of Pittsburgh's Donnybrook 2020, presented by Peoples Natural Gas this Friday, March the 13th at the Priory Hotel. You could visit Show Clicks to see what seats remain for this special boxing fundraiser. Once again, it's Donnybrook PGH. It is Friday the 13th, the Priory Hotel. Check it out. We'll be back with more Pirate Talk, Penguin Talk, and if you want to talk Steelers in the CBA, that's coming up as well.
Oh, boy.